As a former commercialization lead at OpenAI, how do you feel the development and the application of AI technology?
Yeah, I think it's certainly really exciting. I'm particularly interested in how the traditional industries are adopting this technology. It's pretty obvious that technology companies are going to be the first to inject AI into their businesses, which will lead to more magical product experiences and lower cost of operation. But I think it's going to be really exciting as we start to see traditional industry like healthcare, education, and financial services adopt this technology.
Can you share some examples of successful commercialization on large AI models and their impact on AI industry?
Yeah, I think there are a couple big ones that stand out in terms of success stories. My favorite is the Morgan Stanley example. They've been pretty public about what they've done to adopt AI and improve their wealth management experience. In doing so, they've reduced cost of actually serving wealth management products and services by about 40% and improved the way that their wealth managers can interact with their clients and their overall compliance. So that's a really exciting example. Klarna, a financial services company that offers buy now, pay later products, improved their customer support by almost 80%. So the response time came way down. And we're just going to see this trend across industry.
Do you think AI's rapid progress will disrupt traditional industries? And how should they adapt?
We should assume that AI's progress will disrupt our way of life in incredible ways. The thought experiment that I would encourage everyone to do is imagine what it would be like explaining to space travel to someone in 1900. Before we took off a plane, no one could have conceived that we would put a man on the moon, and yet 62 years later, we did just that. I think we should all assume that the future will have unimaginable improvements to it from today. And ultimately, I think that we should expect that traditional industry will sort of look unimaginably unlike it does today.
In the AI industry spurred by large models, what are the key components and the bottlenecks?
The biggest bottleneck right now is cost. It's still expensive for many people to serve these models. GPT-4 has come way down, which is really exciting. The cost was about $60 per million tokens. Now it's about $30 per million tokens. That's great, but we probably want to see that closer to $10 or $5 for it to be truly ubiquitous. That really is one of the biggest bottlenecks right now, because I don't know if you've tried it, but GPT-4 is exceptionally good. And the assumption, obviously, is that these models are just going to keep getting better. The second problem is pretty clearly people's interest in adopting it. At a corporate level, big companies are designed to move really slowly, which serves them well in some cases. When it comes to adopting new technology, though, they are very exposed, and this is a huge liability for large corporations right now. A lot of the work that I do is helping large corporations actually explore this technology in a new agile way that they're just not used to.
What are the major technical or market challenges facing application of AI technology today?
The biggest thing that you should expect to see is one, multimodal. So you should expect to see these models be able to perform across vision, sound, speech, touch. Eventually, the robotics stuff is moving really quickly, in addition to text. And then, of course, the major trend that you're going to observe over the next 12 to 18 months is the move towards autonomous agents.
With growing concerns over ethics, privacy, security in AI, how might these issues influence its commercial and societal acceptance?
I don't know that privacy is actually the big risk here. And I think that my caution to large companies is to reconsider whether information security, is actually the problem. Nothing about AI exposes you as a business or your customers to risks that the cloud didn't already expose you to. You're putting all of your data in the cloud. This doesn't actually really change that. The big risks here are pretty clearly AI safety and responsibility. Are these models aligned to us, and are we using them in appropriate ways? And companies need to be really thoughtful about that.
Are there any predictions or insights on AI development and commercialization you'd like to share from your career?
I think very few people in the world have fully appreciated the degree to which this technology is going to change our lives. And my only caution to large companies in particular right now is that while the world will move forward together, meaning AGI, when it arrives, artificial general intelligence, will certainly improve everyone's lives. I think that seems very clear at this point, at least to me. What is not clear is that lots of companies won't be left behind. So my encouragement to society is be prepared for a beautiful, abundant future, right? This isn't a race. This is an opportunity to explore a world that is not zero-sum. And in that sense, we all have an abundant future to look forward to. But large corporations right now should be very cautious about whether or not they themselves will have a place in that future.
So looking forward, what development or application areas for AI, particularly large AI models, do you see as promising in the next 5 to 10 years? And when do you believe the real AGI will come?
Well, I'm here to tell you I think AGI arrives 2030. At this point, for most of human history, we could have talked about what the next 1,000 years would look like, or at least the next 100. It's really hard to talk about the next 10. We don't really know what comes next. The safe assumption at this point should be that it will be very different. And as long as AGI arrives aligned, I think it will be exceptionally beautiful. And to all the people in the world, and in this case in China, my message is this is going to be an incredible new chapter for the human experience. We are going to see joys beyond our imagination, and we are going to reduce incredible amounts of suffering. The cost of goods and services, I think, will approach zero. But large companies are going to have to figure out how to adapt. And my strong message to all the major corporations in China is to build an AI strategy quickly and figure out how you're going to deploy this technology to improve your goods and services and to reduce your cost of business.